When you are deciding on your book, you may for the ebook make it for color, but for print, it is so much cheaper doing it black and white. And we're not talking about the cover, we're talking about the internal, which affects all your graphics. Now, I have graphics throughout this book. The header graphic I'm not really worried about. You can tell what it is. It's just, in my opinion, a little dark. And this is the key. When you're saving your graphics, save it in grayscale. And save every graphic as a .jpeg, JPEG, and then insert it. When you do it, what I usually do for web pages is a PNG file. The transparency doesn't go as well to print. So you're safer if you actually create a JPEG, .jpg for any image you put in the book. Now, I used to have a greeting card company for parrot lovers. And what I learned is that what you see on the screen versus what gets printed, the on-screen is a little lighter. So here you're adjusting it so that you can see it. It looks beautiful on the screen. When you print it, it gets darker. What my suggestion would be is, if you can, brighten your image by maybe 10% before you save the image. So 0.10% is going to just make it light enough. Now, I'm looking through my entire book, and there are certain images, like the one on page 111, that just came out too dark. Now, because it's not conveying information, it's really just showing it as an image, a YouTube image, I may not worry about it. But if I decide to reformat the book, that's one thing I would do, is go and lighten every single one of the images. The other thing is that I used a PNG, and that's where my other mistake is. That's why I'm telling you, do the JPEG. Your footer. A mistake I made is that I typically, on all documents, put my page number on the left. Well, when you have a book, that gets inside the spine. So if you are putting your page numbers on the footer, put them in the middle. Not on either side, but in the middle. Now, what you're going to have to check when you go through before you submit your book is to check the page breaks. If you want your chapters or your sections to come out where it's the top of the page, you're going to be leaving some white space, which is okay. Understand that you're going to be creating a thicker book. But it comes out on the top of the page. Going through it and seeing some of my changes is my bullet points came out nice, probably because of the size of the font. It just looks very, very clean. All the areas where I wanted the breaks came out. My images, as I said, may be a little dark, but they look good. That I'm trying to sit there and decide whether or not I want to reformat the whole book and go through the process again. Because getting it to fit and to look exactly where you want it on the page and to have all your images appear where you want them, it is a pain in the tuchus. To save your file that you will be submitting is probably done in Word. If you're like me, it was done in Word, the newer Word, so I created a .docx file. You need to save it in a lower version. Save your file for the earlier version so it creates just a .doc file. And that is going to screw up a lot of the formatting. So do it first, then format. Moving your images to the right places and sizing them correctly. Go through your entire book. At that point, you are probably ready to submit it. But walk away and check it one more time the next day. And you're going to see little things, and don't look for perfection, because going for perfection, you'll never get the book out. Close enough. People understand. That's the internal. We're going to go through the cover in the next video. I'm Pat Ferdinandi, author of Your Video Playbook: How to Demonstrate Your Value Through Video. And I hope your book to be holding it like this in my hand soon.